Just a quick disclaimer. I just realized my shirt at the time said honey, but it looks like it says horny. Yikes. It's honey.
Hello and welcome to The Man, the Myth, the Legend, the podcast.
I'm Lexi.
And I'm Maggie, and we're just a couple of gals who are interested in classics.
In no way, shape, or form are we experts, but I'm just a girl who took some classics courses and now I'm teaching Maggie a little bit about it.
So, if you would like to join us for this classic happy hour of information, just continue watching. Awesome.
Week 3. We're talking about a woman.
Oh,
I probably should switch it up a little.
Yeah, I was gonna start singing Ariana Grande's "You've Got It, Woman," but I don't know all the words. So
honestly, not much to that song, but
all I know is that one line. It'll just be going through my head this entire time, even though you have not given any other details other than it's a woman. Okay, go.
You want to guess the goddess?
Oh, it is a goddess.
It is a goddess.
Part of me is hoping it's Athena, but it's not because your face did not give that.
Athena is Minerva. So most of the time you know the Greek, but I know them as the Roman, so I always get a little tripped up.
Well, here's a fun fact about me. Ever since I was in high school, I've always been called a Greek goddess. Not because of whatever, just because I'm Greek. People are like, oh, you're a Greek goddess. One time I got told I have the hands. We're not going to go into that. But, so, Greek goddess, which one?
We are not talking about Athena, aka Minerva. We are not talking about her.
Okay. I don't... You're asking so much of me.
Yes, you do. It was the main goddess that people talk about.
The one that's married to Zeus. Well, that's narrow. I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure that's Juno, but that's not who we're talking about.
No, it's
one of Zeus's daughters.
Oh. What's the one that had the relationship with Hades? Sorry, this is all Greek. My apologies.
Are you sure that's? I don't think any of them had a relationship with Hades.
Aphrodite.
Yes, it is Aphrodite, but she didn't have a relationship with him.
Okay. If you're sure,
Yeah, she had the likes of I'm 99% sure she didn't hook up with Hades, because Hades was not liked by many.
Check your handy dandy technology.
Handy dandy Google.
Internet. I'm gonna sit here and sip my wine out of a glass from a bar in Madison that I...
Is that the one that I was with you? Was that from...
Long Table? Yeah.
I never knew what the name was.
That I procured.
Okay. I thought it was this person. It was Persephone.
Oh, yeah, Persephone.
I'm pretty sure Persephone was...
One of the goddesses turned him into a head over heels in today's hip lingo the kids use, a simp, if you will.
Girl, I've also, since we talked about this, simp is not a new phrase. I just want to put that out there.
Well, I know, we've talked about it, but...
It was literally used back in the 90s, but nobody talks about that.
Yeah. You
can actually hear him talk about simps in Baby Got Back. But that's a whole different...
Just an episode about 90s music and the terminology today. That has nothing to do with...
I could talk about 90s music for a long time, and we could talk about how no white person has been able to infiltrate R&B.
Oh, hands down. No questions asked. None.
The only person who kind of touched the surface was Tina Marie, but that was back in the, I want to say, the 80s. And you're sitting here who the hell is Tina Marie?
No, it sounds familiar. When I was growing up,
Black, who's that dancing to the latest? She sounds like a black woman. I didn't know she was white for a very long time.
ooh,
And so I saw her, I'm like, wow, she's ghostly.
so that's very similar with Elvis. When someone heard his voice, they thought it was like he was a black
Well, who stole his music from a black man?
I love conspiracy theories about Elvis.
No, like it's noted that he stole a lot of his music from other artists at the time. We can do a music one day too, but
maybe someday. But today we're talking about Aphrodite.
And her Roman name is Venus.
Venus?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Venus Williams, like tennis player?
Yeah, or like the planet.
Or the planet, yeah.
A lot of the planets were named after Roman gods, not Greek gods. Yeah.
Okay.
But the Greek gods are more known. Okay. Anyway, anywho. Do you know what she's the goddess of? Like what her?
Isn't it like youth? Like they're always, it's always 3 or 4 things, right?
Yeah, I have like 3 things on my list.
Okay. Honestly, I don't know. I could totally make it up, but I really don't want to because I don't want to.
So she's the goddess of sexual love.
Oh. Okay.
Beauty. And fertility.
Oh.
So like anything like that's like remotely lovish, it's her.
Aphrodite.
Yes, Miss Aphrodite.
Yes. Sorry, I'm gonna keep on saying Aphrodite. Venus. Which one do you want me to call her? Venus?
We can say either, because either like as soon as I like wrote down Aphrodite, I also wrote down the Roman term, which is Venus. So either one, we can interchangeably use them because they're the same person.
All right, I should have figured out, why did I not? It's like one of those situations when someone asks like what your favorite whatever is, and then you forget all of your favorite things.
Oh, that's me.
All the time. You're just like, I like things. Okay. Sexual relations, all things love, moral of the story.
Basically, yeah. So Aphrodite comes from the Greek word aphros, which means foam, which is how we get into the mythology of how she was created.
Interesting. Okay.
So this Greek poet basically wrote like the Theogony, which is like this whole thing of stories about like the creation of the gods. That Aphrodite was born from the white foam produced from the severed genitals of Uranus. the severed genitals of your anus. Phrasing. So basically you got like Zeus, right?
Yeah. Didn't he just like appear one day?
Zeus is also named. So Zeus is the Greek name.
Mm-hmm.
His Roman name is Cronus.
Yes.
And
I couldn't have been more wrong with this. Okay. So at the end, I'm going to, or at least on my blog, I'm gonna post like a flow chart of how they're all related.
Uranus was his dad, so like he killed his father.
So Zeus, I mean.
So it goes Uranus, Zeus, and then like the kiddos, like all the guys.
Okay. Wait, is Uranus the Greek name or the Roman name?
It's the Greek name. The Roman name was too. Actually, no, it's the Roman name. The Greek name was too hard to pronounce.
So it's Uranus, Cronus, kiddos.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try and keep them separate, like the Greek names and the Roman names. I know they're interchangeable, but for my own mental sanity, are you gonna laugh at me because they're actually not interchangeable?
No, they are interchangeable.
Okay. You just have this little face.
No, because I'm like, you're gonna try hard, and I'm gonna still just interchangeably use them.
Yeah, well, that's us. I'm gonna try hard, and then you're just gonna Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. So he cut his genitals off, threw him to sea, and then like people formed from
the foam. Well, just from them.
Yeah, from the foamy genitals.
Ugh. That's not sanitary.
Yeah.
I'm sure this water is sanitary.
So that's the mythology of it. There's also other origins of her. So a lot of the worship of her came to Greece from like the Middle Eastern goddesses of like fertility.
Cool. Nifty.
There's two. I do not want to butcher their names, but there's two goddesses from ancient Middle Eastern, like not like religion, like of that, because they a lot of people back then just worship gods. And then according to Homer, who was a poet, she was the daughter of Zeus. I'm a liar. I'm such a liar. Go back to that mythology. Zeus so that's the Greek name.
Mm-hmm.
Roman name is Jupiter. Cronus and Uranus are the same.
Oh, okay. So Cronus
and Uranus go together.
Yeah,
and it's Zeus and Jupiter. So Zeus is the Greek name. Jupiter is the Roman name. So Cronus is the Greek, and then Uranus is the Roman. That's how that goes. I knew that sounded off.
Okay, well, I'm glad we got that corrected. We'll see if I can. I'm gonna try and remember that.
But isn't that already weird that the mythology is saying that she was born from the genitals of Cronus, but they're saying, oh, but she was the daughter of Zeus? Like, isn't that it's already off?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Mythology is just.
I love stories.
Yeah.
It's just storytelling.
Zeus being a fuckboy and things happening. So genitals from okay. So we have the father figure, sort of.
Is either her grandfather or her actual.
Well, it's like the grandfather dad situation, whatever. But I'm talking about what about the mother? Is it the same mother? Is there a mother? Is the mother the key?
Yeah.
Hit me up with that info. Are you done with the father figure info?
Yeah. Okay. It's the mom. That's the only like mother. So it's like if there's a mom, it would come from it's the Zeus thing, because otherwise she came from
water, the sea,
foam.
She's a salty bitch.
Actually, no. Ironically, she's not salty. She's the type of person to like kind of put her hand in something, like stir the pot, and then like walk away and be like, "Oh my god, how dare that happen?" She's that.
Okay, so if she's Zeus's daughter and not Cronus's, who's the mother?
Dion.
Dion. Oh, Dion. Oh, makes me think of our coworker. Okay, so Dion. What was Dion the goddess of?
Nothing really.
Oh, she was just one of the OGs. Okay.
I'm pretty sure she was just a regular schmegular person. Like, I don't think she came up. Because a lot of the gods tend to get it on with normal people. I want to say she was a normal person.
So then Aphrodite would be a demigod.
In certain cases, yes. But if she came from the foam, then she's just a goddess. So it depends. Okay. It's a lot. It's really a lot. Let me double check and make sure that Dion wasn't of importance.
Cool. Sounds like a plan. Whenever I think of demigod, I'll just think of like Moana and Maui and like him singing "You're Welcome."
Okay, it says she's a goddess, but it doesn't give her. It just gives the Greek name. It doesn't give the. She's a Phoenician goddess, so she's not even.
Interesting.
So that's why she doesn't have a second name, because she's not even really Greek. She's Phoenician.
Ooh, crossing some lines. Just kidding. Equality for all. Okay, cool.
Oh, that makes me so mad. And then in the Odyssey, you find out who she spent some of her time with. Sexual name. She was with Ares, aka in Roman land Mars. And that's how she became the mother to Harmonia, Phoebos, and Deimos or something. They were like war twins or something, twins of the war.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And also,
those are the Roman names, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Greek equivalents.
And then Eros, aka Cupid. So she was the mama of Cupid.
I love how like her children are like war and love.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then she has some mortal lovers.
Ooh, did she create some demigods and goddesses?
Uh-huh.
Ooh, give me the tea.
So she hooked up with the Trojan Anchises. And she made Adonis and Aeneas. We talked about that last week. Vaguely.
In what retrospect? Like where, how, what?
Because remember Julius Caesar said he is a descendant of Aeneas?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay. Yep, we're good. Come back. We're good.
So, and then you know who Plato is, right?
Plato, yeah.
Old white dude. Find what Homer said, so about Zeus being the Dada, and also with the Hesiod, so like the theology. He combined those two, and he suggested that there's two goddesses of the same name.
Okay.
But one was to represent like the higher love between men.
Okay.
And then the other was to represent the love between men and women. Yes.
So including women in the sequel, if you will. Work.
Also, they had names for them, but speaking of the state that we're in, it's gonna be funny. Just trust me. So one is called the Heavenly Aphrodite.
Oh, okay.
Referring to the love between men.
Okay.
And then referring to the love of men and women.
Okay, yeah. What's the name?
It's the Pandemic Aphrodite. Ah, God. The Straits are just a pandemic.
Wear your masks. Moral of the story here. But also, women need to be included in things like Kamala Harris. Woo! Yeah. Sorry. Tangent. We can back on track. Okay. So two different but same.
Yeah, but basically the same.
Okay.
And then her worship of Aphrodite. They literally called it a cult, but it's a different definition of cult than like what we deal with now.
Is it just a following?
Yeah. Like that's basically what cult means anyway, but like it's not like the negative connotation of cult that we get.
It's just a following.
That's one thing I want to dive into randomly. Let's just find a cult to like look into and be like, this is.
One of my friends back home, she texted me randomly one day and she goes, I'm looking at joining a cult. I'm like, first off,
just the gym membership.
First off, with what time? Because we're all so busy. Second off, girl, no, you aren't. No, you are not. I don't want to have to go into those like first 48 where you've gone missing.
Girl, it's never first 48. It's always, oh, we found bodies, or I ran away from a cult. It's always one of the two.
And then there's
Jonestown. Did you hear about the? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting off track. Cults are so interesting to me.
We can talk about it later. Anyways, back on track. It's a following, but they call it a cult.
Yes. It originated back on it's like Minoan colony. So like I didn't look up what that meant, so I just wrote it down. The island of Cyprus.
Okay.
Off the coast of Italy, off the coast of Greece. I'm a liar.
Same, they're homegirl.
And then Cytherea. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I also have 2 other names written down, but there's no notes to it next to it, so I'm just gonna skip it.
But there's no notes.
So. No notes, so it's not that important. So yeah. And when you think of symbols for this heavenly woman, Aphrodite, think of doves.
Doves?
Pomegranates? Like seeds.
Yeah, pomegranate seeds, yeah.
Swans? And myrtles.
Male turtles. No, that's not it. I have no idea what it is.
Myrtle Beach, but I don't know what a myrtle is. Let's see what
very uncultured. When I was in my undergrad, I took an abnormal psychology class when the professor was a psychologist for people in prison. He was a character, but one of the most interesting classes I took, and he was talking about how rare it is to see a black swan. We were talking about the movie Black Swan and all this other stuff. And this class probably had 150 people in it, so it was big. It was a bigger lecture hall.
I took an abnormal class, and my professor was like, if you did below this on the exam, come see me. And I was like one of the only Black people in there, and I had to go see her. And I was like, yeah, I'm bad at test taking. And she goes, well, you narrowed it down to 2, right? And I'm like, yes. She goes, so why did you pick the wrong answer? And I'm like, well, obviously I thought it was right.
Okay, well, not to me.
So that was my experience with abnormal psych. Right? But
yeah. Well, first off, so the professor was wacky, but God love him. He was super interesting, great stories. This is also when I was training my service dog, and every day in the middle of class, he would call me up to the front so he could play with the dog while he was teaching. That's really awkward for it. Anyways, he told me he was going to steal her multiple times. He didn't, though. Thank God. Now she's placed. But anyways, he's like, it's very rare to see black swans in someone's life. So if you see it on multiple occasions, that's like super rare. He's like, has anyone seen a black swan? And in this class of like 150, I raised my hand. And he's just like, oh, how many have you seen? I'm like, about 6 or 7. And he's just like, what? I'm just like, yeah. And he's like, where? And I'm like, Spain, in this one lake. He's just like, how? I'm like, oh, they were a gift from a queen to put in this one town and all this other stuff. And he just goes, and you've seen them? I'm just like, yeah, I saw 3 one time and like 3 or 4 another time, another one like multiple years apart. And he's just like, oh, okay. And I didn't know if it was like a concerning one or whatever. I felt like that story needed to be known, and now it is.
I figured out what a myrtle is.
Oh, what is a myrtle? Yes.
It's like a shrub.
Oh.
So like,
is it like the shrubbery that doves carry around in all of the prints? Like a vine, like a tree branch? I don't know. You can just show it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah, that looks like, so if you ever see like stamps or like prints of doves and it's like supposed to be romanticized or whatever, it's with like a branch that has like little berries and maybe a flower or 2. I don't know, maybe I'm making it up. Anyways, cool.
So that's a myrtle. um, and so when you, other than like love and like all that other good jazz, when you think of when I think of Aphrodite, I think of how she kind of started the Trojan War.
And she started the Trojan War. Like
Yeah.
you said, she had laid, if you will, laid with Trojan
Yes.
men. But okay.
In the Iliad, which is it's a epic, but I don't remember if it's Greek. It's a Roman. No, I think it's Greek epic. It's a Greek epic, and yeah, she's partially responsible for it starting. So basically, this guy were to choose like who was the most beautiful goddess, and it was between Hera, your girl Athena, and Aphrodite.
Okay.
So this dude named Paris. So Zeus appointed Paris to pick and like be the judge. And so, like women, they all like promised him different things, right? So
mind games, gimme. Okay.
So Hera was like, "Yo, Paris, I'll give you a bunch of land," and it would have like been equivalent to like Europe and Asia. So it would have been a lot of land. Athena was like, "Yo, I'll give you mad strength."
Athena's after my own heart. That's how I work.
And Aphrodite was like, "I'll give you the most beautiful woman in the world." Who do you think?
Oh. I don't know. Athena? No. Aphrodite.
Yes. Okay. So she won. Okay.
Winner.
So she gave him the most beautiful woman, and I'm not even gonna say at the time. Her name was Helen, but she was already married. Right?
Okay, but like giving her to Paris doesn't mean that he will marry her. Wait, women were property back then. Never mind.
There we go.
Took me a second.
So Paris got her, and her husband Menelaus, I don't know, whatever. I never understood how to pronounce it. Was like, "Yo, you abducted my wife. Give me my wife back." And then he like went and got his brother Agamemnon and was like, "Yo, we gotta go get this bit." And that's how the Trojan War started. They went back to go get Helen.
The Trojan War started over a woman.
Yes.
Honestly, I love
it. So that's why I say she's partially to blame, because Paris didn't have to choose Aphrodite as the most beautiful.
That is very true.
But at the same time, Aphrodite knew she was married, so like, why?
I mean, yeah, but okay. So if Helen, God, that's an interesting name for that time frame. But if Helen was the most beautiful woman, that makes, I mean, she's just saying this is who the most beautiful woman is. FYI.
But she had promised, like, "Hey, I will give you the most beautiful woman in the world." So she knew.
Yes. I'm not finished yet, ma'am.
Finish.
So, visual of the most beautiful woman in the world.
Strength. Don't worry about it. I'm just kidding.
Strength. Well, you're now. This was back like ancient times. You're not that old. Strength. Like firepower. You know what I'm talking about. And then a bunch of land. If you think of it,
I would have taken the land.
I would have taken strength if I was in this guy's position, Because back then,
you don't know what type of strength it is. You don't know if it was physical strength or mental strength or emotional strength.
that's true. But if it was Athena,
yeah, she's strong, but like,
isn't she more of physical strength?
yeah, I think so. So I think it would have been physical strength. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I mean, I get it. I guess he could sell off the land, making him rich, making it more appealing to women. Fathers of women, I don't know. But if he would have logically thought it out, the land probably would have been the best course of action. Like, I get it.
It's a better investment.
Yes, like I get it. You want to be like happy in a never committed relationship. Owning your female partner, and producing heirs to take over what you own. But what does Paris guy have?
Literally nothing. I want
land. Anyway, that was my case, and now it's done. Go on.
Yeah. And then, oh shit. No. Yeah. So.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure if you fast forward and you go to the Roman epic of the Odyssey, which I've read one summer because of a clause.
We've never read Iliad or the Odyssey. Are we surprised?
There's another book that I'm missing.
Iliad, Odyssey.
So it's the Iliad and another, and the Aeneid. The Iliad and the Aeneid go together, and then the Odyssey is.
Yeah, I've never read them.
I read them all.
Congrats.
I've way too much. I've read them all in Latin, but no.
Like the book was printed in Latin, or?
So we translated parts from it in Latin, but I had the English translation of it. So this is Metamorphosis by Ovid. I have another one of the Aeneid, the Iliad, and the Odyssey. Also, one Daphne, one about.
Okay, we're getting off topic, homegirl.
But no.
Back on it.
The Odyssey basically goes through Odysseus's travels, but at some point, like Aphrodite comes up and basically Hera uses like, oh, she's so pretty, like against her. It was either like Athena and Hera went against Aphrodite, or it was just one of the two. But Paris really started some shit by saying that Aphrodite was the most beautiful, but like they should have known.
The goddesses or Paris?
The goddesses.
The goddesses.
Like they shouldn't have been like up at arms that Aphrodite was chosen.
Who knows? Honestly, who knows?
Jealousy is a dish best served cold. I like it a little warm, but
I like some confrontation.
But that's all that I have for Aphrodite, aka our girl Venus.
Interesting. Wait, how'd she die?
I don't know. A lot of gods they're just chilling in God.
Well, theoretically, gods don't die.
I never came across a story on if she was offed or something. Never came across it.
Interesting.
So. What I can imagine is some bullshit she got caught up in, and then they were like, "It's enough for you, Aphrodite."
Well, yeah.
Just picked up an accent. Sorry.
Very much so.
But yeah.
Nifty. Awesome. Aphrodite, goddess of all things love, pretty much.
And fertility.
Doesn't know who the real daddy is. It's either Zeus or Cronus.
Yeah, Foam.
Foam or from Dion.
What, do you remember who her mortal lovers were?
The ones that Julius Caesar claims to be descendants of.
No, that's her son.
Oh.
Anchises.
Oh, the Trojan guy.
Trojan man.
There was multiple, and I can't think of who the other one was.
No, it was just Anchises.
Oh, it was just okay, cool. Dope, just him. Cool. Children.
She had 5 kids. Do you remember any of them?
Cupid.
Mm-hmm.
The Twins of War.
Mm-hmm.
She had a daughter, but I can't remember who that is.
Harmonia. Harmonia.
Harmonia. Harmony.
I'm pretty sure she's like the goddess of music or something like that.
And then I have no idea.
Aeneas.
Aeneas. Isn't that one of the twins?
No.
Or the war boys?
No. Aeneas and Adonis are demigods, and the other ones are like full gods.
Okay.
So yeah.
I tried. She started the Trojan War, sort of.
Partly responsible for the Trojan War.
I said sort of. And yeah.
So yeah, that's Aphrodite.
Nifty.
So yeah, guys, tune in next week.
Yeah. Next week, who knows what we're going to be talking about? Lexi will probably decide at some point with her list. I will not know until we start recording because that's how we're living life right now.
I did a good job of not telling you though.
Yeah, you did. Like last week, you gave me like a little like the teaser thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of fun. Aphrodite.
I think I might choose a poet next week.
Ooh.
So I can talk about something. I don't know.
So we can talk about something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moral of the story here, we already know what Aphrodite did. We talked about Julius Caesar last week. Who knows what next week is? Maybe a poet. Be smart, wear your mask.
Train smart, keep it real.
Trade smart?
Train smart.
Train smart and keep it real.
Train
Okay.
smart.
I don't know what I'm training for, but yes, ma'am, I will. Trading for every day of life.
Keep it up, my pandemic Aphrodites.
Yes. Queens. Stay feisty.
See y'all next week.
Yeah, next week.